before you, was mentioned now a couple of times during the meeting, is the county's application for CARES Act funding. And this was actually submitted electronically yesterday, as the deadline was close of business yesterday. And as commissioners are well aware, we literally had about 3 business days to get this prepared. We were only notified last Thursday that the application was going to be due Tuesday the 16th. The Commonwealth then gave us graciously an extra day, so it was due at the end of the day yesterday. So I worked very closely with some others I'll mention here in a moment to get this ready to go. The state received $4 billion, as many may be aware, in CARES money from the federal act. Counties with a population of over 500,000 received their money directly. Lancaster County, one of our neighbors, one of those counties with a population over 500. They were simply allocated. It was electronically transferred to them. In the case of Lancaster, they got $95 million. It came straight to their account. The other 60 counties, there's 7 of those over 500,000. The other 60 counties needed to provide an application to the State Department of Community and Economic Development, DCED. That process was established to use their single application for assistance, which is a pretty basic application that requires a number of narratives. The county, Lebanon County's share of this, or allocation of CARES, is $12.8 million. To be exact, it's $12,805,164. And that is to be used for various activities such as reimbursements to the county for any expenses or planning and future mitigation related to COVID. The same for municipalities and school districts to be reimbursed for any costs they may have incurred relating to COVID. It is also intended to provide a grant to the Economic Development Corporation locally to assist large businesses with any COVID response, any sort of future planning. And the same with small businesses. Employers of under 100 are eligible for grants so long as they haven't benefited from some other federal program like PPE or Small Business Administration grants. It is also to be used for nonprofit grants, so any 501c3 nonprofit or a 501c19, which is a veterans organization, are eligible to receive a grant for anything. It could be lost revenue because of COVID in those nonprofits, a number of things. We're to provide allocation, if needed, for additional behavioral health or substance abuse services that might be needed as a result of COVID. So those are the categories. We have not been required at this point to break down the amounts in those categories. Initially, we thought we would be required to do that in a matter of a few days, which was causing a whole lot of upheaval to figure out how we were going to do that. Turns out the application was a little simpler than that. We're simply at this point asking for the allocation. We're explaining how we're going to go about, what we're going to address, how we're going to go about it, and in what timeline are we going to do that. I have worked closely through this with Bob Dowd, Director of Emergency Services here at the county, also with Holly Leahy and Jim Donmoyer, who are mental health and drug and alcohol respectively, to look at those costs that may be incurred there. And very closely with Susan Everly of the Economic Development Corporation, Brooke Smith of the United Way, and Karen Grove of the Lebanon Valley Chamber of Commerce. This is going to take a lot of administration to develop a grant program, to vet the applications for the program, and to make recommendations ultimately to you for allocations from this fund. In my view, I think it makes a lot of sense to have the United Way come up with guidelines that they propose to you, come up with a review board who can receive and review applications, and ultimately then make a recommendation to you on the grants. The same with the under 100 employees, employers, under 100 employees, sorry, to do the same sort of thing by the Chamber of Commerce. They are equipped to do that. They know small businesses well, and have the capacity within their office right now to help with this. On many of their outreach programs, such as chamber breakfast, business after hours, those sorts of things are on hold. So they have the capacity to do that, and the EDC is connected with the larger employers and can utilize some of this funding to assist them with planning or with PPE or with even promotion of economic development opportunities in Lebanon County that have been missed because of the 3 months essentially that we've been down from COVID. So that's a thumbnail. This application was due yesterday, so I did share it with all of you. I did prepare all of the narratives in it, and this will be used for a variety of things. I mean, PPE acquisition across the board for businesses. We're not sure yet whether or not we'll roll that into applications with the grants, or whether we'll have that as a separate part of it. We just really haven't had a whole lot of time to flesh it out completely. But what I'm asking today from you is a motion to ratify this application, and we get moving forward on it. And again, guidelines will be established. Those will be submitted to you for your approval. This is ultimately the county's grant. It's the county's responsibility. The integrity of the use of funds is on the county. So I think it's important that all of these disbursements be approved by you at your meetings, whether that be done in the form of a list of recommendations from the administering entities or how it goes about. But I think ultimately, if there are questionable costs in this grant at the end, it's been stated in the guidelines that the county would be responsible for payback in many ways. So we want to make sure we do this right every step of the way. So.
Jamie, I'd like to thank you for all your hard work and everyone who has agreed to participate in carrying out this grant. It's an opportunity to help our businesses, our municipalities, our population in general. And I do make a motion to ratify the grant that was submitted for $12.8 odd million.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to support the ratification of the application. Any questions or comment or discussion beyond what we've had? If not, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? So moved. Thank you.